Many IELTS general test takers score low in the reading test because they don't understand essential vocabulary. But you can avoid this problem because certain words appear repeatedly in the passages. In this video, you'll learn 20 words that commonly appear in the IELTS general reading test. If you want to achieve the IELTS score you need, check out our IELTS courses. We'll guide you step by step on how to score high, and you'll get all the templates you need to feel confident on test day. Just click on the link in the description. And now, let's get started. We'll begin by looking at vocabulary that commonly appears in Section 1 of the IELTS General Reading Test. Remember, Section 1 focuses on everyday situations like notices, advertisements, and timetables. Our first word is eligible. This adjective means qualified or entitled to receive something or participate in something. You'll encounter this word frequently in notices about discounts, permits, or membership requirements, as organizations need to specify who can access their services. Here's a typical example. Residents who have lived in the building for more than 6 months are eligible for discounted parking permits. Next, we have mandatory, which describes something that is required or compulsory. This word appears regularly in rules, regulations, and official notices, where specific actions or attendance are obligatory rather than optional. For instance, you might see a sentence like this: attendance at the annual fire safety briefing is mandatory for all building residents. Let's examine valid, meaning legally acceptable or effective for a specific period. This adjective is crucial for understanding information about tickets, passes, documents, and permits that have expiration dates or usage conditions. For instance, tickets are valid for travel on any bus service within the city limits for up to 60 minutes after purchase. Moving forward, provisional describes arrangements that are temporary and may change. This word often appears when organizations announce schedules or plans that haven't been finalized yet and might be modified later. For example, this timetable is provisional and subject to change depending on tutor availability. Another important word is restricted, which means limited to specific people, times, or conditions. This vocabulary frequently appears in parking notices, access rules, and usage guidelines where certain limitations apply. An example might be, parking in Zone B is restricted to permit holders between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. Now, let's continue with vocabulary that's particularly relevant for Section 2, which deals with work-related contexts like job descriptions, training materials, and workplace policies. Comprehensive is an adjective meaning complete and including everything necessary. This word appears when describing thorough programs, detailed explanations, or extensive coverage of topics in workplace training materials. Here's how it sounds. All new employees must complete comprehensive health and safety training within their first 2 weeks of employment. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like and subscribe. We only make videos if we see that you enjoy watching them. Now, let's check out 14 more words that commonly appear in the IELTS General Reading Test. The next word is pertinent, which means relevant or applicable to a particular matter. Check out this example. Please attach all pertinent documentation, including receipts and booking confirmations, to support your complaint. The next word is subsequently, an adverb meaning afterwards or following in time. It's excellent for understanding sequences of events in workplace procedures, project timelines, and process descriptions. For example, the treaty was signed in 1919 and subsequently ratified by all participating nations the following year. Now we turn to allocate, which means to distribute or assign something for a particular purpose. This verb commonly appears in contexts involving resource distribution, time management, and organizational planning. Here's an example. we need to allocate more time for customer feedback in future conferences based on this year's survey results. Let's examine correspondence. This word refers to written communication exchanged between people or organizations. Here's an example. All correspondence regarding the project should be directed to the team leader rather than individual members. Discrepancy means a difference or inconsistency between things that should match. This noun frequently appears in workplace contexts involving comparisons, quality control, and problem identification. You might encounter, the accountant discovered a discrepancy between the invoiced amount and the payment received from the client. Moving ahead, convey means to communicate or express something clearly. This verb appears in formal correspondence and professional communication when transmitting information, feelings, or messages. For instance, the manager called a team meeting to convey the new health and safety procedures that would take effect next month. Another crucial word is prerequisite, which refers to something required as a condition before something else can happen. This noun is vital for understanding course requirements, training progression, and qualification criteria. Here's an example. Completion of the introductory module is a prerequisite for enrolling in any of the advanced workshops. Let's move to vocabulary that's essential for Section 3. Here you'll encounter longer, more complex texts on topics like travel, science, history, technology, and culture. Substantial describes something considerable in size, value, or importance. This adjective appears when writers discuss significant changes, major developments, or important contributions to fields of study. You might read, there has been a substantial increase in online learning opportunities over the past decade, which has revolutionized access to education. Let's explore mitigate, meaning to make something less severe or serious. This verb is particularly common in discussions about problems, risks, and negative effects, where solutions or preventive measures are proposed. For example, governments should implement policies to mitigate the negative effects of climate change on coastal communities. The next word is advocate, which means to publicly support or recommend something. This verb frequently appears when writers discuss expert opinions, recommendations, and professional advice across various topics. You could see many health experts advocate regular physical activity as a way to reduce stress and improve mental well-being. Now we have scrutiny, referring to careful and critical examination. This noun appears in discussions about transparency, accountability, and detailed analysis of policies, systems, or situations. Here's how it sounds. Public policies should be open to scrutiny to ensure they truly serve the needs of citizens. Let's turn to imperative, meaning absolutely necessary or crucial. This adjective emphasizes the urgency and importance of actions, decisions, or changes that must be implemented. For instance, it is imperative that governments invest in renewable energy sources to reduce carbon emissions. Another vital word is facilitate, which means to make something easier or help it happen. This verb appears when discussing tools, processes, or systems that enable or support particular outcomes. You might encounter technology can facilitate better communication between people from different countries. Moving on, consequently means as a result or therefore. This adverb is perfect for understanding cause and effect relationships in complex texts about social issues, scientific phenomena, or historical events. Here's an example. The bus was delayed. Consequently, I arrived late for the interview. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their IELTS score too. See you in the next video.